Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good night. My name is SabyneSpyce, and welcome to my Let's Play of the point-and-click adventure game Primordia. So this game came to my attention a couple years ago during one of the infamous Steam sales. It was relatively inexpensive, and it looked like it was something that was right up my alley, so I thought, I'll give it a try. So without any further ado, let's just get right into the game, shall we? So the first thing you probably notice are the graphics. These are not your standard polished and shiny 3D graphics. Wormwood Studios made a game that was a throwback to the old school style of point-and-click adventure games like Monkey Island before the HD remake, the old King's Quest game, the old Space Quest games, all of those games, and that's not ominous at all, is it? So...
Almost there.
Now we are meeting our heroes. Horatio Null built version 5 and Crispin Horatio built version 1.
And one more piece of the unique is operational.
So you can
One
see...
down, 1 million to go. Speaking of which, boss, I found exactly none of the parts you wanted.
that's a problem. Womp
I
womp.
turn up are a locker and some stupid conduits. Maybe next time. Boss, are you sure you got those settings right?
That came from down in engineering. Let's go.
Anyway, as I was saying, so you can see that the graphics are not exactly polished. They're a little bit blocky, they're a little bit pixely looking, so it gives it that nice throwback look. This is the sort of game that I would play as a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid on the old 286 computer in my parents' room. So we're going to be walking all the way back to the engineering part of the ship. Caution, laser,
boss?
caution, laser, caution, laser. And there is Tall, Dark, and Ugly
Crispin,
in
get
the
behind
flesh, or the circuits, or whatever.
Who are you and what do you want? Power.
I think he wants the power core, boss.
Thank you, Captain
Stop
Obvious.
Right there. This ship belongs to me. Forfeit. Enemy. Wonder.
I don't think he's too keen on private property.
Or complete
Get
sentences.
away from the power core. Forfeit.
Now the funny part with that is just how Horatio flops forward like a dead fish. There's no, ow, my side, or laser, oh no, laser. It's just looks down, drops to knees, flop. And away goes all the power. Now my question is, why did he pitch Horatio out? That's weird. Why would you just pitch somebody out so unceremoniously?
Boss?
By the way, can you guys spot the
Horatio?
cameo?
Come on, Horatio, wake up!
Oh.
Whew, you're okay.
What happened?
Well, Big Ugly threw you out of the
But
ship.
why?
And then he said plunder, again. And then he left with our power core.
That's what I don't get is
Besides-
why...
Yep,
How much charge have you got?
10%. You?
I'll be fine.
Never mind.
We just need to get the emergency generator up and running.
Or we could just go to Metropole, city of glass and light. Free energy for one and all.
No.
Don't believe everything you hear. Metropole is trouble. But if you want to go, you've got free will and a maglev unit.
Ooh, that's all you
That guilt
need.
subroutine you put in me, I wouldn't even make it halfway.
Actually, with a 10% charge, you wouldn't even get that far.
Yeah.
So I suggest we get the generator working.
Sigh
You and your
indeed.
projects.
Sigh
And
indeed.
built us to build, Crispin. Now, come on.
So, here is your menu bar. You have your inventory, where right now I don't currently have anything, but I'll fix that here in just a second. You have your standard menu buttons, save, load, options, and exit. You have... Those will be filled in shortly. That'll be your map and your data. And then you have Crispin.
I must have dropped the data pouch when I was thrown out of the unique. Basad, its memory got wiped.
Sod.
Easy enough to add the good old junk pile's coordinates back in, though.
Isn't it fabulous when you have your old haunt so committed to memory that you could just add its coordinates right back in? So as I was saying, you have your map and you have your data. You don't have any data in it right now, so it's completely useless. But typically you can go back and forth, you can scroll, you can switch over to the map, so it's pretty handy. Now, I think they switched these two, and the reason why is...
Is that a gumball machine?
No, it's a robot's head.
Oh, I wanted a gumball.
Maybe they weren't switched, because this looks more like the gumball machine. That just looks weird.
Nothing worth salvaging.
Nope, nothing indeed. But as you can tell, based on what I'm doing here, you can see I can just point and click and things happen, or our intrepid duo will comment on them. So, for example, the tail wing.
I can't pick that up.
No, I can't either. So, without any further ado, we're going to head to the next screen.
It's a segment of Gordium electrical conduit.
Okay, here's what my question is. What is Gordium? I've heard of cadmium, I've heard of nickel, I've heard of all these other different elements that can make up conduits, but what is Gordium?
I've tried patching this a dozen different ways without success.
First world robot
A
problems.
sturdy cable.
Oh, wait. It's always nice to have a sturdy cable, isn't it? So let's check out the generator.
It's not going to do anything until the generator's fixed.
Yeah, that is a problem. This is actually kind of funny.
Crispin, when I told you to find a new spark plug, did you just shove my conductive putty into the old one?
Maybe.
No wonder the generator isn't working. At least the putty is still good.
Here's my thing. How did Crispin shove the putty in if he doesn't have arms?
There's supposed to be a power-bearing conduit between this socket and the ship, but I never got around to putting one together.
Now who's the procrastinator?
I can't just scoop it up. I've tried patching this
Oops.
a dozen different ways without success.
Misclicked. So we're gonna head upstairs. Or I guess in this case up the ladder. So...
More Gordium conduit.
well, first that. So I mentioned Crispin before up on your menu screen. He is a really handy little guy because not only can he do this...
You know, boss, if you're ever wondering what I would do, feel free to just ask.
I'll keep that in mind.
Not only is he good for snarky commentary, but he's also very good for grabbing things like that.
There's no way I can reach that.
So see, Horatio can't reach it on his own. It's too high, it's too far, but guess who can?
Could you grab that lantern?
Sure thing, boss.
You know, I always wanted to be able to fly.
So did I.
That's why I built you with a maglev unit.
Not so that you could store tools on hard-to-reach ledges.
Well, that too.
See, one of the cool things that I like about Horatio and Crispin is how they feed off of each other. They're just so funny as they interact together, because they're each snarky and dry in their own way. So you get a very good banter back and forth between them. So I'm going to use the lantern, and I'm going to focus the lantern down here in the hatch. I'm going to use it on the hatch. And down we go. So obviously there's no power, so I can't go anywhere. If I click on the hatch, he's going to tell me it doesn't work.
So that's where you keep it.
Yep.
Why were you looking for my plasma torch?
No reason.
Why would you have any use for a plasma torch, Crispin? You don't have arms.
It couldn't hurt to bring the gospel of man with us.
Going to pray for a miracle, boss?
We are man's miracle, Crispin. Let's hope that's enough.
So one of the cool things is you notice it's very much like, like King's Quest or Monkey Island or Space Quest or any of those old games. See how you don't have a full screen of stuff? It's just like a little porthole that's a window into the...
Ooh, spooky.
a window into this little room. So I'm going to go ahead and head back up.
You'd think there's still some power in the circuit.
Boss, shouldn't you have thought of that before coming down here?
I will grant
You
him
could have been
that.
stuck.
I could have just ridden you back to the deck.
Really?
No. Routing that much power to your maglev unit would cause it to explode.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I couldn't find a working fuse to solve the problem.
I'm a floating bomb. I'm a floating bomb. Sweet.
You know, his reaction to that kind of disturbs me. I don't know that I would react to "I'm a floating bomb." The knowledge of being a floating bomb in quite that fashion.
Only a little sliver left before the moon wanes entirely.
Well, I'm glad we're not the only ones running out of power.
I don't think that's how that works, Crispin.
Strange clouds, huh, boss?
So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to select the map, and I'm going to head to the junk pile. And that will get me some more things that I can use.
I can't see anything to do with it.
No, neither can I.
It's locked tight.
Ain't that always the way? So there's the conduits.
It's 3 pieces of Gordium conduit. Unfortunately, one of them is completely corroded and worthless.
Okay. How is there rain falling? I don't think there was any rain falling over at the Unique. That's weird.
There's a piece of Gordium conduit way back there.
And we know what that means.
Crispin, can you go in there and get that piece of conduit?
I suppose.
One of the funny things with Crispin and Horatio is they speak,
That would have been a lot easier with hands, boss.
but especially noticeable with Horatio, that he actually speaks with a mouth as opposed to speaking in a robotic fashion, no mouth moving, anything like that. It's especially noticeable when he's facing the camera.
It's locked tight.
Well, you know what you need for that? The good old-fashioned plasma torch.
Let's see if this works.
Yay! It worked.
Is that a spark plug, boss? Who locks up a spark plug?
That's actually a very good question.
Actually, I think that box was some kind of machine.
You killed it!
Recycled it.
I always crack up at Crispin's reaction there. You killed it! Yeah, most likely. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of inventory finagling. I'm going to start using the plasma torch on the conduits.
Time for a little welding.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
You didn't even do anything, Crispin. Why was it easier for you? And then I'm going to use the plasma torch on the cable.
Let's cut a little cable off.
And then use the putty on the short cable. That's pretty much all I can do right now. So I believe this is a good place to cut this video. I will pick right back up from here with the next video. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you in the next video, and don't ever, ever give up on something that you love. Until next time, guys!